Welcome back to Today's Room, playing Planet Coaster. In today's video, we're going to be doing the fourth episode of the water park. So in this episode, we will be doing the Lazy River, and also our back of the park services, I guess. Since this will be in our entrance into the water park, with it having the train station over here, we're going to put in some guest relations and changing rooms back here. We also have body dryers. Those we won't do in this episode. Those we'll do another one. Along with some restrooms that'll go in here, but these I will leave for another episode. That I'll probably do in one big episode for these slides and the rest of what's left for this. And like I said, slides. So we have a normal big raft one here that's been in for a while. But we still have quite a bit of room left on the counter. So I decided to put in a racing raft slide complex. So just 4 raft slides, nothing much to them, they just go down, drop, and in a water area, or a runoff area. And that's it. Like I said, nothing much to them. But that all will be done in the next episode. This episode, we're doing the Lazy River, and then also this building, along with also probably putting in their grab-go unit in here, and then starting our service road for what will be this back area over here. So, yeah, I'll get to work on that, and then I'll be able to show final products, so I'll see you just a little bit. Alrighty, so I finished the build of our Lazy River and our service building for this area of the park. But so, for Lazy River, named it Lazy Creek, they would realistically have one side be the entrance, one side be the exit, but there's no queues for Lazy Rivers in the game, so we are just forced to have it to where you can go in anyway. It doesn't really matter, there ain't a lot of people coming to it anyways, but enough said. I put a ton of rock structures in here and a lot of plants. They would purposely make the Lazy River quite well themed, but they would mostly use the rock structures to hide the unsightly bits of stuff. So to hide all this staff paving back here for our lifeguards to get around, I put in quite a bit of rocks just to hide, especially in here where it becomes very flat, and you can kind of just see across to the other side. So, coming in our entrance here, you just hop in. Then you go out to the right. I purposely left this just grass. I don't know, it just felt right being like that. And then we have the rocks blocking the path. Over here they can't really do anything. Kind of have to have the path, and you kind of have to have the lifeguard, so yeah. And then we have some flowers and stuff all along the side here. Where there are rocks, I put in a ton of plants. And then to hide the support structure that would be for this bridge, and to kind of help cover up the bridge a little, I put in a ton of rock work around it, so that all supports it. Or maybe not the rocks, but there would be a support structure inside of it, and the rocks just surround it, but it helps hide that support structure and then blend it all in together. And then coming along here, this is our main pumping house for the Lazy River. So the water will get processed through there to get filtered. But because of it being right here, it makes it very easy in terms of logistically to have water features right here. So we have some water just shooting out towards you. And then we also have a nice little waterfall up here too. All these have pipes they're coming out of. And I just realized that this is a little bit out. So give me that. And there we go. Now you can see it, and it looks wonderful. So then coming along here, we have another lifeguard post, and then this would be the entrance for the lifeguards into the Lazy River. Talk a bit more about that in a minute. And then continuing along, we then turn around to go back towards the exit now, and we have some plants along the side here to help cover up the service road and to kind of separate the path and all. There wouldn't be a fence here because there is no real hazard if people were to go into it from the path here. The park wouldn't want that. That's why they have fences for around the staff area and tons of plants and stuff to help kind of persuade and kind of block people from getting into it from over here. But it isn't a real safety hazard, so they wouldn't need to put in much of any fencing in terms of them being required to. And it doesn't go right next to any paths other than like right there, so I wouldn't worry about that. And I also saw this. Could I just... No, I cannot. That is how it is. So, honestly, I don't really like that, but that's how it's going to be. So then we got another lifeguard post over here. This one takes care of the entire curve here. Definitely has a pretty big area to cover compared to the other ones, but overall, it's still fine. More plants on the left, and then to the right we have our river and more plants, but they wouldn't be really taking care of much of this area, since this area they would it's very hilly, so there ain't really much of easy development to be done there. It's definitely more scenic, but they would just kind of let that be and grow, especially since they wouldn't want people back there anyway, since they have put up this fence just to kind of symbolize the border of the guest area. And for some reason, I guess they're going up on the staff path, but they just despawn and then go over to the entrance and walk back over here. This is our, fourth lifeguard. Fourth of the 5 throughout the course. This one just covers this last section here. And then we got more rocks here to help cover up this path area here, especially since it's quite bland in there. And then coming along here in the final curve, another lifeguard. Kind of have a nice sight line into that area, and more nature on the right. And then that is it. You get out here, or you could go back around again, whatever you want to do. And then coming out, we'll make a left, put in some seating for our grab and go unit for Pizza Hut. And then this would be staff only. I originally just wanted to put in some sort of lifeguard sign here, but and then close it or stop there from being a staff here, but I was forced to having a staff member there, so we have that. So the staff member would just be here, just kind of monitor it, even though they would be able to probably lock this gate from being opened just to deter people from going into here. And there is also the staff only sign on there too. But coming in here, on the right, we have our so this is the second lifeguard in the course. Then gotta go up the stairs, across, and then down the stairs. Third lifeguard, fourth lifeguard, pump house, then the left, the first lifeguard, and then the right, the fifth. And the station lifeguard's right there too. And the station lifeguard is the only one that doesn't need to take this way to get to their post. So all these lifeguards, they would need quite a few since it is a pretty big area to cover. So they would need them in here, and I don't know really what else to say about that. Self-explanatory why they need lifeguards, in case people start to drown. But yeah. Then coming along here, I talked about Pizza Hut in the last episode, but over here we have our border fence for the park, at least for the guest boundary. But this is our service road for our train maintenance area, and then also where our solar field would be, and then maybe some other back of house stuff, I don't know yet. But this little dirt road just comes right across, over the tracks here, come out to this maintenance area, and then over here would be the train's maintenance area in here. So I'll put in some sheds and stuff in the finishing touches episode when we do the train on all this in here. And then in here we have a small seating area for Chief Beef and also Pizza Hut. So they would kind of share this, but this would be more targeted towards Chief Beef, and Chief Beef is in here. So we have a Chief Beef, obviously, and also So Delightful stand in here. put the windows in there just to make it feel a bit more realistic and the increased capacity. But coming over here, this is our main little backlot area for the water park. This is the second like big main one, but this one has our big water tower for the whole water park. 2 power generators and 2 water pumps. And this area is separate from the rest since it would be a restricted area for everyone including staff. But over here it wouldn't be, it would just be for staff only. Guest relations is through here, and then the food unit for Chief Beef is in here. I really love how this whole building turned out, just all different shapes and stuff. In terms of it being oddly shaped in quite a few places. Definitely looked nice for it. And then I also put in the bins in here for garbage. But like I said, with the awkward, odd shapes, just the guest relations, just to kind of separate them, I put it back a little. But the roof stays the same throughout the whole thing. And then come along here, this is our door into the guest relations. You could probably also use it, they would probably also have some sort of connection to Chief, or actually no, they probably wouldn't have a connection to Chief Beef. So everyone for Chief Beef in terms of staff would need to go all the way around, but that's fine. And nothing major. And then for our changing rooms, nothing really in here, but I did just put signage and stuff. And it would be open air. In terms of you being able to go, or there wouldn't be really anything in terms of blocking up above. And then the door is just kind of here, just because just allows for quicker access into guest relations. If Chief Beef came over here, the door would be for Chief Beef too, but they don't. And I don't like the fact that people are cutting through the wall here, so we will just block that off. Yeah. But that is it really. I did also put in the queues and everything for our funnel slide and also the train station. This queue is too small, but I don't have any room to expand it unless I were to, or actually that is kind of a lie because I could continue it along over into here and then have it move this queue, make it bank right immediately, come over, up, and then in. So I might look into that. I don't know yet. But yeah, because right now the queue's backing up. And I haven't even done anything to it in terms of that, but we'll figure that out as time goes by. But next episode will be us doing the restrooms, funnel slide, raft slide, the bike dryers, and then I think we're also going to maybe do this train station. I don't know entirely yet, but that'll be something to decide next episode. So I do hope you enjoyed. If you haven't, subscribe to the next one. Bye!